All right, guys, so we are back. This is part 2, and I'm here with Michael Thing and my dad, JW Johnson. So, as we were talking about YouTube and what are we doing with our YouTube channel and how he got into his YouTube channel.
Right, so we were just kind of touching bases how we're kind of changing the setup and what we're doing, how it's kind of taking it from like fun watching him race and doing things of that nature, where it's getting into more like almost episodes where each episode is going to talk about a different tool and we're going to have different people come in and just more dynamic. It's going to be really like a handy Mandy, type show, except it's all live. And it's crazy to think that when we started this YouTube channel, I never thought that I would also be writing a kid's book. So I have a kid's book that we should be releasing here shortly as well. And this first book is Growing Up Garage, The Adventures of Kaiden Johnson. And it's all about getting your race car ready to go racing. And it's pretty neat. I'm definitely looking forward to that coming out. And the new stuff that we're going to be doing at Growing Up Garage. And that's why we thought it would be, such a great, thing to have you on, because you've completely grown up garage, working on stuff. And so now that, though, like you've said, it kind of took your YouTube channel as being just fun, kind of like where ours was. And now you're kind of, transforming it into almost a business. And so what do you got going on there?
Yeah, so we just hit like the 800 mark on subscribers.
Okay.
So it was pretty sick. I was excited about that because that means, we only need 200 more people,
Right.
So that was pretty exciting. I mean, the biggest thing is trying to get monetized on
Right.
YouTube, I feel like, is like one of the main goals when you start a YouTube channel. But really when I started it was just for fun, but now I kind of like stepped it up a level. I want to, try to learn how to monetize this, how to run it as a business. And but the main goal with this is, trying to, teach kids or just inspire them, because everybody has a dream, and I never want anybody to give up on their dream just because, they don't have enough funds to be able to do it. And that's kind of in a position I was in for a while. And, that's leading into like, getting sponsors and stuff like that. Is I think like it's super important to like teach kids how to do those things. And, it's just a great YouTube channel to be able to inspire people like that, like you guys are doing as well.
And so now let's touch, but it's kind of transformed it from now that you are done with high school and have to be a grown up. And maybe we'll have a whole different YouTube channel called like Grown Up Garage, where we teach all of you moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles how to use tools that you didn't know how to use. But anyways, but now you've turned that kind of passion for just having fun with it into a business. And so tell me a little bit about what you have going on there.
Yeah, so I ended up starting a business. I don't have a name for it yet, but I just started it.
Hey, maybe you guys out there watching this can comment down below and let us know a great name, for Michael Thing's business.
Yeah.
So we gotta get those subscribers involved, and I think that's a great way to do it. Is just you get some great feedback and some
Yeah.
Turn a blind eye to.
I'd love to
Get
hear all the
creative.
ideas. Be awesome. But yeah, so I just started a new business. It's pretty much you just make shorts, reels, like
Okay.
Instagram reels, YouTube shorts for companies. So like I'm doing one for an HVAC company called Maximum Comfort.
Okay.
It's actually one of my sponsors.
I was
It's
gonna
like
say
kind of
that.
starting
I've seen
out.
that
Yeah.
car
Yep.
on that logo on your car.
Yeah, and then I'm doing another one editing their podcasts and
Okay.
turning them into shorts. Doing that for a business called Everbee. It's an Etsy seller tool. That's also one of my sponsors on my car.
Okay.
So kind of starting out, within
With the local people
super-
that have been helping you out.
Exactly, yeah. So help them out, give them a good discount, obviously, and kind of like branch off from there. I mean,
So that's what's crazy. I'm going to have to mention this. If you haven't used the AI tool for editing your podcasts, it's amazing. If you don't know about it, we can teach you about it. It's insane.
yeah, I think
It will
I've seen
take
it.
your editing time to like 2 minutes to edit this whole thing.
Yeah,
It's kind of ridiculous. So definitely a lot of fun. What are you doing over there? You got this guy over here just making funny faces. Are you falling asleep over here? Is it nap
yawning.
time? No, you're yawning. What is this, boring?
No.
Well, what else you got for him? Come on, let's see. So we're talking about sponsors. So
what are your current sponsors right now?
So I got quite a few this year. So we got Everbee is one of our primary sponsors this year. I also want to thank my sister. You know, she hopped on board this year, so she's super supportive and, you know, doing hair and helping us out. Yeah, my PTC is their printing company. My parents, they just started that, so they're printing all of our wraps and stuff. Like you saw it on the last YouTube video we had is that I won that race, that they printed a brand new wrap out and it got all scratched up. So,
I saw that one.
Yeah, so we might have to replace the right side this time, but
hey, at least, you know, it's right there. It's easy.
it was right there, right in the back, right in front of the office. Yeah, so super excited about them. And yeah, we have Maxim Comfort, obviously, has been around for years. We have Real Technologies. They came on board and super helping us out so much. I mean, all of my sponsors, you know, and we're still trying to get more, obviously, always trying to get more. And yeah.
So let's talk about that for a second, because I know that that can end up being a big part of racing, because as you get into these bigger cars, things get more expensive. I mean, for instance, tires, let's just say. So how many races can you, will a set of tires last potentially?
I mean, it really depends on the race condition or on the racetrack condition, but usually about 1 to 2. I mean,
so
really,
that, because I look at it and we're able to go through a season maybe on one set of tires, maybe change out one. So definitely the costs aren't involved, you know, huge there. So it's definitely important. So what has been something that you could tell anybody else that if they're looking for sponsorship, what do you feel like has been one of the things that's helped you gain these sponsors?
Probably the media. Social media is like a really big thing to a lot of these companies, is they want to be like, feel important, and you really got to bring them on board and make them feel like they're worth something, and really put them out there. Like, they want to see their name like everywhere. So put it on your Instagram, your Facebook, if you have Twitter, like everywhere, just plaster the name all over and then tag them so that they can see it. And then also like email them, like send them like what you did, you know, and keep them updated on your results like throughout the races and stuff like that. I feel like it's super important. And, you know, they want to stay in the loop as well. Like, they're at the racetrack with you and they want to live in the moment. Like, if you made a YouTube video about them, like, send them the YouTube video, you know? And so that's what I've always done, is like, as, you know, the guy that, like, pretty much like we consider ourselves as a marketing team, pretty much, is we're like a billboard, like racing.
Yeah, you're just a moving billboard,
Yeah,
which is the key. And I think that that's something, I think even we've missed that. So I know that usually we'll be good about tagging people and doing things of that nature, but I think that that's key. I think just, you know, after you, no matter how you finish that race, is like, hey, you know what? Send them an email saying, hey, this is how we did. Thank you for your support. You know, without it, we wouldn't have even been able to race. And really following up with them, I think that that's powerful, because it's really that communication aspect of it is huge. And I would say, you know, even phone calls to them, you know, doing stuff that's out of the normal, because when you get into these bigger companies and bigger brands, to really get them, you just become a number. So if they're constantly hearing from you, hey, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing, oh, we dropped a new video, here's our new wrap, here's what we have going on, they're like, wow, these people are really going above and beyond. And I feel that most kids now even have phones or some ways to take pictures. It's like, hey, take a picture of it. And when you get, you know, you're 12, 14, it's like every kid has a camera. So, hey, take a picture of me, send it, you know, tag this, you know, do these certain things that will really make a big difference to your sponsors and set yourself apart in order to gain additional sponsors. Because, I mean, they have to like that. I mean, that's got to be great, because every time you put out a video, if it's about racing, they're getting able to see their name. I think that that's a benefit.
Yeah, exactly. They want to feel important, and they want to be a part of like your program. So you
taking notes over here, dude, or are you just falling asleep?
I'm taking
Yeah,
notes.
I mean,
All right, because you're going to be having to get on emails after this and start sending them to people saying, hey, I need more sponsors, or I need thank you for sponsoring me, like Next Gen, who keeps you safe in every single race, you know, because this guy likes to roll his race cars.
expensive.
Yeah, especially his razors. He's done that. So racing the razors, and I mean, he got real lucky one time. It even just rolled right back onto the wheels, and he was able to keep going.
Keep it going.
So,
keep the gas on.
what are your goals in life, and like what are your goals in racing that like you dream about?
I've always dreamed as a little kid to, be able to hop in NASCAR. I think it'd be awesome to be able to get to that level, I know that you need to make that pivot to go to asphalt eventually. I'm not sure like where that is yet, but my dad always tells me, he's like, you're not lacking skill, you have all the talent, but it's all about putting in that extra work to be able to get to that spot. I mean, really, for us, it's about the funds, so this year with sponsors, this is the first year I'll be able to be not racing on my own dollar. I'm racing on, sponsors specifically. So be able to do that was one of my biggest goals, and this year we're really excited about that.
Now, have you thought about doing an asphalt? Have you done an asphalt race?
Never have.
Okay,
Yeah.
and have you Kaiden, you've done asphalt once. What did you think about it? And it was an asphalt road course.
Okay.
I like dirt better.
Why?
Asphalt, I mean, yeah, you're going faster, but you have to, you have to run all these lines every lap. And right in dirt, you're running outside, inside. That, you're running outside, inside, outside. You're going through how many turns.
So it makes you think more.
And
that chess game becomes more intense because there's so many turns, I think.
I'm more used to left turning than going right and left.
Gotcha, yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
No, I think that's great. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we did and we want to do more of, just because I don't think you can get enough driving.
Right.
I mean, because he can't drive normal things, I mean, it's like, hey, drive everything else that you can. I think that was also neat. We got to do you touched base on it, was you got to do that sprint car. So we got to do a 600 micro sprint.
Wow.
And it was fun.
We set the fastest lap time out of everyone.
What?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
who did you race against out there too?
Blake Wilkie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was fun. So Blake Wilkie and a couple of the other guys, D-Max Rhino was out there as well. He hated it. Was like, this is horrible. I don't know why anybody likes doing this. And then a couple other kids came out to race it before the adults broke the car. They broke the clutch in it. So then it put our day to an end. But yeah, I mean, he was doing good lap times and, having a lot of fun. It was really neat to be able to jump into a big car like that. I could only imagine what it would be like on a real track.
Right.
Because we were running the inside track. The
Gotcha.
kids track it. So, you're just second gear. Just,
kinda.
you're moving still.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah. I have a question for you. So you race a lot of things. You have a lot of cars. What is your favorite out of everything you've done?
Ooh, that's a difficult one.
See, we have to work on his thing. See, the we were talking about this during the break, guys. How you really, and I think that this is a good point to bring up, because with anything that you do, whether you talk in the winner circle at the end of it, it's really to articulate yourself well. And I feel like that's one thing that I've enjoyed about doing podcasts and enjoy about doing YouTube videos, is I'm able to look at myself and how I talk and really try to become a better speaker. So even me at my old age, I'm still learning new things. I love learning new things. So I encourage you, never stop learning. I mean, that's the great thing about life, but at the same time, it gives you that opportunity to be able to speak well, articulate your words. And so now we're going to throw it back to Kaiden, to Michael Thing's awesome question as, what's your favorite race car? You didn't answer us. Come on.
I think it's the Mini Dwarf. I just like that car, and that's what I...
Wait a second. No. Because at the beginning of this season, you were like, Dad, I only want to race the junior sprint. I don't want to race the Mini Dwarf. I don't want to do double duty. I don't want to drive more. It's too hard. It's too hard. And now it's like,
before we
I'm like, no, Kaiden, you need as much driving experience. Drive. Like, that's your thing to do. No, it's more like this. Oh no, I hear wah wah.
Alright. So that was before we had won 2 times this season. And
Also, only because you win, then you like the car.
And we're also first in points in that. So I'm happy about that. But that car's, I've driven it for a while. That was probably the second car I ever drove. And that car I like. I mean, I like the body style of it, and it's a fast car. We're only running a second behind.
A tenth of a second behind junior sprints.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it's fun.
I'm actually surprised about that. Because, I mean, my favorite car always, as a little kid, was always the junior sprint. As soon as I hopped in that, I just never wanted to go back to the mini.
They're just not fast enough. I think that you feel like, I think that you have the suspension, so it's better. I mean, to me, my daughter hated driving the mini dwarf just because she felt like it was so bumpy and rough, and it was just like,
They don't have rear suspension.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Front suspension.
So Kendall really likes running the go-karts. We have a ton of fun running go-karts up at Campo. And I mean, I think you have fun doing that. I mean, but...
Yeah, that's always fun. Like going up there, we get to race Saturday, Sunday. We go up there Friday. We stay the night, and we have a blast. You know, we go ride bikes on the track. And
I think it's because of the community. You know, I think that the community is really good up there. Everybody's just having fun. It's not that super competitive nature.
People aren't competitive, like, want to win. No, it's like having fun, you know,
it's that
having a blast.
Back to what you said, like that beginning of racing when you were 5 to 8 years old, 9 years old. It's just fun. You're like, hey, I don't care. I'm having a good time. I'm spending time with my family, my friends, and it's just good. I mean, we've had fun racing razors. I think that that's been something totally different and unique. I think you like jumping them. And yeah, you see this whole face lights up right there.
And I'm very good at not breaking them. That's probably the only cars that I haven't broke every race.
Yeah, well, because you don't run into people. You know, stop running into people. You don't run into people in the razor. So then, I guess since the track's so much bigger, because it could be like a 2-mile track or whatever it is. So it's like cars get spread out pretty easily unless you're running into like lap traffic and things of that nature. But I think that that's definitely been fun. And so where would you ideally, and then we've talked about it, even maybe you're doing some like desert racing together, doing in like a 2-seat razor. I think you like driving that, but where do you want to race? What would you ultimate goal? So he says NASCAR.
What are my goals? I'm going to agree with him. I really want to race in the big leagues. In asphalt, you know, it would be fun. It's also, you know, it's going to be fun working up in that level. You know, you got to go through Truck Series, and you go through Xfinity Series, and then you're in Cup. So you're going through all of these different cars on asphalt, and you're learning different things from all of these 3 cars trying to work your way up to the big leagues. And I think, like, when I'm not at the age, I want to go race, you know, Pro R in the desert. It'd be fun, you know, 2-seater, me and you. Because that's what you used to do, you know, back in the day. You used to race, and you were the co-driver in a Class 1 car. And I just have always liked off-road and always will.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, so like I began racing, you know, not until my 20s. And, you know, just because we were never able to do it. I didn't grow up around a family that was really into tools or racing, motorsports. And I always had a love for it. I always loved watching 3-wheelers race and quads race, and it was so neat.
Going to Cajon Speedway?
Yeah, going to Cajon Speedway back in the day. I mean, it was just awesome. And so when I got the opportunity, I built my race truck and started racing, you know, back in 2000. And it was a lot of fun. And, you know, I stopped racing when, you know, he was born, just to be able to spend, you know, more time, focus my time with him. And I think that, you know, now kind of coming back, we're kind of starting to circle back where he's old enough to maybe, you know, get back involved in it. And
cycling the family and all of these, you know, my sister races. My younger sister is going to race. You know, you used to race. I race. Funny story you said about your, you built a race truck. And we were talking about how we used to go to the Mid-400 a lot.
Right.
And we went there once, and he found his race truck it used to be blue, and it was red.
It
And
was.
he had found his race truck going through, was it contingency?
Yeah. And that was like, I mean, probably 15 years later after I sold it. So to see it still out there running, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And they're like, yeah, we've won like 3 championships in it, and it's been a great truck. And it was, you know, super, I mean, it was just, it was awesome, you know. So I definitely, I see how it's kind of starting to come full circle, and I really love it. I think that one of the best parts about it, I think you touched on it too, is just getting to spend time with your whole family. You know,
Yes.
like there's so many sports where it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to, you know, but like,
Hey,
yeah, you know, my daughter plays softball, or my other daughter likes to ride horses, and it's like, I can't be involved in that. I mean,
Right.
I guess I could be a coach, but I know nothing about coaching, and I don't know that I have the patience
Yeah.
for coaching, you know, 10 or 12 little girls, because sometimes just coaching one kid is enough.
or
Yeah.
for him, it's no offense on other people. Like, it's
I don't have
it's
a
just
passion
his
for
lifestyle.
sports. Yeah, I
It's
was like,
his lifestyle.
people are like, oh, you watch the football game, you watch the baseball game. I'm like, I have zero interest in sports.
You go
like,
fishing?
It seems, yeah, like no fishing. Like I hate fishing because to me, I just feel like I can't sit down and watch a sports for like 2 hours, and I just feel like I wasted 2 hours of my life not being productive.
You could be
Right.
doing something other than sitting on the couch, you know,
Yeah.
watching football, watching baseball,
So that's the Johnson household.
and
there.
unless you're retired.
Yeah, and even then, still. So we're not retired. None of us are. We have
No.
a lot of work ahead of us to achieve our goals, and it's going to be neat. You know, as I think as this podcast grows and progresses, to have everybody back. But let's talk about. So you're not going. You're not going to college right now?
Yeah. I'm not gonna go to
Any
college.
goals for any desire to do that, or?
Probably not. I mean, really, I love the entrepreneur world, and
Okay.
a lot of them talk about like not going to college.
Right,
You know,
no,
unless
I mean-
it's more of a career thing, of course. If you're gonna be like a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. I'm pretty like set on like wanting to start my own business. My dad is an entrepreneur. Most of my family is entrepreneur actually. So
Okay.
I've always got inspired by them. You know, them showing me like all the ropes and how to run a business and everything like that. So, yeah, it's something new to me, but I'm learning so much, like starting my media business, which is super awesome. I'm super like having a lot of fun with it. It's cool.
And that's the key to it, because realize that you don't have to go to college to be successful.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of the most successful people, don't get me wrong, have gone to college and then they drop out of college. But, you know, it's not for everybody. And I think that that's one thing that we're really focused on at Growing Up Garage is like, you don't necessarily have to go to college. You could even go to a technical school. You have the ability to learn so much. Think about YouTube. Anything that you want to learn, you could go on
It's on
YouTube
YouTube.
and learn right now.
Yeah.
Instead of
and
going
it's
to a
free.
5-year class.
Free, yeah.
And it's free. Like,
Well, I tell you this, there's so many books. Oh my gosh, you spent $20 on a book. I mean,
Right.
whatever, $30. I mean, it's so worth it. Like I've read The Secret. Have you ever
Okay.
read that book?
no.
It's like, yeah, I know you brought up Rich Grow Rich.
Yeah.
It's like similar to that, but
Okay.
they talk about the universe a lot and like seeing the future. I mean, I recommend this book all the time because it's like, you know, you manifest something that you really want. Like, oh, I want to win this next race at,
Right.
you know, wherever. And you picture yourself being in the moment, in the winner
Yes.
circle, and you really believe it in yourself. When you
can
show up
relate to
that race day, you most likely have a likely chance of winning, like higher, way
Your
higher.
chance is going to be far greater than thinking, hey, I'm going to go race this and
Yeah.
maybe I win.
Yeah, maybe I
So
win.
that the word. So think about this. When you say something, I am going to win today. I am
Well-
going to succeed. You're saying it, you're thinking it, and you're hearing it. So that's 3 things in saying it one time. So the power of doing that is huge. Like,
So-
I'm going to do this. I'm going to succeed. I'm not going to fail. Failure is not an option. It's just there's plenty of times that I've not succeeded to where I want, but at the same time, I learned immensely from that. We didn't win the last race, but
No.
what we learned from that
Yeah,
is
we
far more valuable than a
Greater.
trophy.
Exactly, yes.
yeah, like it's far greater than a trophy or, yeah.
And that's the thing is like any moment in life you could take away and just be like, okay, I didn't win, but what did I learn? And thinking about it and reflecting on it. And as you get older, really reflecting on it. And I tell people the biggest thing that you can do if you're not going to like, you could do a video of it, you know, but really like take notes. Hey, I failed this time, because in the moment you think there's no way that I could ever grow from this or be better. But when you write down that failure and you write down the date and you go back to that and you're like, dude, I never thought I would be better because of that. And now you are, and just how you change your thinking. I think that that's huge. I think it's so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Living in a positive mindset is so important, especially when it comes to racing. I mean, I remember my biggest learning curve in racing. I mean, they always show the bright stuff, right? They always show the bright stuff. Like YouTube channel usually show the bright stuff, but really deep down, we hit a dark spot, like where we wanted to quit this before. And, you know, that's just some bad luck, you say, right? But really it was
Never give up.
Yeah, never give up, and you got to push through those moments and
Chase your goals.
and try to think positive and live in that positive mindset and manifest like what you really want, you know? I mean, if you want to be a racer, then manifest being a racer and doing what you love is more important.
No, I think that is great. I think that, you know, setting goals and really manifesting that in your mind and saying it and believing it, though, you know, like saying it, I'm going to win, you know, I think that that's powerful. And I think that, guys, I want you to think about some of your goals, whether it's, you know, racing, whatever goals that you may have, and, you know, write those goals down. And I think we're going to start wrapping this up. We're definitely having fun hanging out with Kaiden Johnson. I don't know who this kid is, but we know who Michael Thing is, because that guy's been driving for a long time and killing it. If you want to know more about Michael Thing, let's tell everybody where they can learn more about you.
Yeah, so you could check out my YouTube channel, Michael Thing, and you can also check out my Instagram, Michael Thing at 38. And so yeah, those are my.
Now, have you started TikTok?
I have a TikTok, but I don't really post on there too much.
That's where, you know,
it's where it is too.
Your demographic is there. That is going to be the strongest place where you can grow right now. That's my 10 cents, you know.
Or you go out to Verona Speedway and you can watch him. And
yeah, you can go out to Verona Speedway. Are you going to be racing this weekend?
I will be racing this weekend,
all right,
yeah.
So we will be out there racing this weekend. It will be, you know, a ton of fun, as always. We still got lots of stuff to do. And then we actually race Campo, too, on Sunday.
We had a lot of races this week.
We got a lot of racing this weekend.
Busy week.
Awesome.
So it'll definitely be fun. Thank you so much, Michael Thing, for coming on our podcast show.
It was very nice meeting you.
My name is
Thank you
Jeremy,
so much, sir.
and you can check out my YouTube channel at Jeremy's World 10. We also have started, Kaiden, a new YouTube channel where it's more just him, kind of like what Michael Thing's doing, where he gets to do his own thing. It's a vlog, and you can check him out, Kaiden Johnson 91, right?
Yeah.
Where else? And then where are you the host of?
I'm the host of Growing Up Garage. Me and my sister, and then so you can find me on Growing Up Garage, and then I'm on Instagram. Kaiden Johnson 91, and then I'm also Growing Up Garage on Instagram, and I think I have a TikTok on Kaiden Johnson 91.
Dude, we got to get crazy. All these darn it used to be easy. It was just like one. Now it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many. But anyways, guys, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to let this guy close it out for you.
So I will see you guys in the next podcast or video. Super nice getting back in the studio. And I'll see you guys next time.